Please welcome Accenture's Senior Managing Director of the U.S. West region, John Del Santo.
Thank you. As we kick off today, I want to take a moment and remember our colleague, our special colleague, Shelley Hansen. Many of you may have seen the picture of Shelley out front. Shelley was a valued member of the Accenture family and of our team here in the Western region in Northern California. She was very passionate about this event and very involved with it over the years, and very much an advocate for our female executives in the firm. We really miss Shelley. She was an incredible part of our family. She brought incredible energy, enthusiasm, and lit up a room when she walked in. Our clients loved her, and our people loved her, and we really, really miss Shelley. I'd like to recognize that some of her family is here today, and frankly, her Accenture family is here today and is with her every day. So let's please have a moment of silence for Shelley. Thank you. As they said, I'm the Senior Managing Director of the West region here, and we have about 6,400 people at Accenture in the West, many, many, many of them women. When I joined here a few decades ago, there were a few hundred of us, and I joined with about 20% of the workforce was women, and now every time we hire new joiners, about half the team that comes into Accenture in the West are women. So things have changed dramatically, and definitely for the better. I want to welcome everyone here to San Francisco and the Silicon Valley. By the way, again, when I joined, the Silicon Valley was far from here, and it was a valley, and there was orchards, and it was a very different time. The Silicon Valley now is, I was talking to Paul Doherty last year, is really becoming San Francisco and the whole area of the Bay Area. And I was thinking about how to define this place, especially with this audience. How do you talk about the Silicon Valley? So I thought about a great golfer, since I like golf, and a great Stanford alum, and I know who you think I'm going to talk about, but it's not true. She won last week on the LPGA Tour, and Michelle Wee said, you know, we're just out here playing our best. We're not competing against each other. We're just trying to do our best every day. And I think it's that sort of mentality that strikes me that is sort of the ethos of the Silicon Valley and of innovation here, which is we just try broadly to do our best and bring our best every day to work, not necessarily to compete. I think the Silicon Valley is a place where, you know, co-opetition, frenemies, all those things that happen in business now sort of got launched. We work together with competitors, often at accounts, and we at Accenture, we work with our ecosystem partners and sometimes compete with them. And so it's very interesting. We always do our best for our clients. It's all about doing best for our clients and our people, and good things happen. The Bay Area has always been a place where people kind of play their own game. And first of all, it was sort of the pioneering gold rush that we all know about. Then it was the counterculture of the 60s, which did lead to a lot of change, maybe not as much change as some people were trying to drive. And then the silicon chip, microchips in the Silicon Valley. And now this place is all about business disruption. And that's what Accenture is about, which is driving digital for our clients to help disrupt their competitors. Today, we're going to hear a lot about technology and innovation. We're going to hear a lot about the digital movement and what has happened in the Silicon Valley over the years. And I think we have some really distinguished speakers to talk about this. I think the difference between yesterday and the evolution of Silicon Valley and today is that increasingly innovation and digital is the economy. You know, we see that every day here in the clients that we serve. And disruption is sort of the business strategy oftentimes. And while many impressive, you know, we've added in this area 20 Fortune 500 companies in the last 10 years. There's no other place on the planet that can come even close to that. 20 Fortune 500 companies in the last 10 years. It's amazing. There's many other Silicon alleys and Silicon beaches and Silicon places that have popped up over the U.S. in the last few years. But the vast majority of venture capital, of startups, of unicorns, and Fortune 500 companies are sprouting up right around us in this area. And it's a tremendous place to be, a tremendous place to work and help thrive and innovate. You can feel it. I mean, hopefully many of you came to our very crowded city today to get here. You can feel the energy and the passion in this place. Many of us that were here in the dot-com crisis can kind of relate to it, but it's much more palpable, much more real, and much more sustainable now as we think about our economy. And it's, the number one destination, obviously, for technology and technology disruption. We at Accenture have our innovation hubs centered here. Our technology labs have been centered here for more than 30 years. Some of our best technology researchers and developers are based here. And we are pushing forward with a very aggressive innovation agenda here, not only in this region, but in North America across the board. And part of our strategy is to really pull together multidisciplinary and diverse teams to provide outcomes for clients that they can't find anywhere else. And we're very proud of that. These efforts to push innovation and the agenda forward really create new opportunities for our people and for our clients. And it really is important for us to make sure we're putting teams together that look more like our clients, that really are inventive, that really drive innovation. And it's not surprising that this place is also driving major changes. It's almost a living laboratory for a new workplace and a new way of doing work and the workplace of the future. We're very proud in Northern California, just being named on the number 5 list for Fortune as the number 5 best place to work in the Bay Area. We're pretty psyched about that. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that our team looks different, it works different, and we drive to outcomes like we never have before in this place. And I've been here a long time. I can't express enough about how the new Accenture, again, we've been around for a while, but the new Accenture is very palpable here. I want to spend a few minutes. I want to welcome my boss and our leader, Julie Sweet. Julie is a pioneer in a lot of ways. It's something that started early with her. And although she now leads more than 50,000 people in North America and roughly half of Accenture globally, and I would argue the most important half, she in her prior life, Julie was a lawyer, and she became the 3rd partner in a very prestigious boys club, an old law firm with a history dating back almost 180 years. And so very pioneering from that perspective. Additionally, and I'll let her talk about this, but back in the 8th grade, I don't know if Julie knew I was going to talk about this, but back in the 8th grade, Julie started the first girls football team at her middle school. So I will let Julie explain that story because I'm not sure I know all the details. So please welcome Julie Sweet. Now you have to talk about that.
So I know what you're thinking. What position did Julie play, right? I was nose guard. That's because it only required brute strength. No ability to catch the ball was actually needed. And my parents had learned an important lesson as to what really motivates me, because when I wanted to start the football team, the principal said, no, football is not for girls. And of course, because he said no and it's not for girls, it was exactly what I had to do. And this was a great motivator. My parents simply would say no, and then they knew that was exactly what Julie was going to do. So it started off early. So I want to add my welcome to everyone here in Silicon Valley and San Francisco who have joined us, but also a welcome to literally thousands of people around the world who are watching this global webcast, both employees and clients and partners. And this is my favorite day of the year because it is really energizing to come together around shared values and principles and to celebrate, women globally. So as I think about where we've been, and the principal telling me, girls, football's not for girls, I think we've made enormous progress, and this is a day where we celebrate that progress. But we also know that we have a ton of things to do, and this has been a particularly poignant year with the discussions of pervasive sexual harassment, the ongoing deficit in women in senior leadership positions. The list could go on, and we could be optimistic or pessimistic today. And I will say that I choose to be optimistic because I do think we're at a different place globally. And I think that's for a few reasons. I mean, if you just start with us at Accenture, you heard Pierre talk about it. We have 170,000 women in a company that leads in digital, cloud, and security, deep tech, right? It's incredible. It's 41% of our workforce. Right? We've set a bold target to be gender parity by 2025. 32% globally of our managing directors this year were women, more in the US. right? So lots of reasons to be optimistic right here at Accenture. And the mere fact that men and women around the world, literally 50,000, are watching this webcast or celebrating in more than 50 countries tells you there is a lot of shared values and concern and belief in gender diversity. And literally week in and week out, when we're in the C-suite and we're talking to CEOs around artificial intelligence and digital disruption, the conversation always quickly turns to people and the need for diversity, because to be an innovator, you need diverse teams. And we saw this in the US very poignantly. This past year, we were proud to be part of the founding group of companies that started the CEO Action for Inclusion and Diversity. And in the US, over 350 CEOs signed a commitment to inclusion and diversity and to taking action. And so I do think there's lots of reason for optimism, because companies and people around the world want to take action. And that's what drove our research this year. You saw the video that gave you a bit of a synopsis of what we found. But every year for International Women's Day, we do research to try to add our voice and contribute to the dialogue. And this year, because we are optimistic and believe that companies are looking for ways they can take action, we did what we think is really groundbreaking research. We looked at what are the factors that will create a culture of equality that will increase advancement opportunities for women and men. Our research found that there were 14 critical factors in 3 categories. Bold leadership, think companies that set targets publicly, CEOs that are clear about their commitment. Comprehensive action, so think policies and programs and practices that are effective in promoting women, like having networks for women. And finally, an empowering environment. And this is probably an area that we don't focus on enough, but this is, what does it feel like to go to work every day? Do you have to have a dress code? Is flex time something only for the mommy track, or is it a common practice for all, so that as a woman, if you're taking advantage of that, you don't feel like you're special or not as committed? So those 3 categories with those 14 factors, we found together have incredibly impressive results. Women are 5 times more likely to reach director or senior manager in companies with this combination of factors. And men are twice as likely. And at a time when every company sees a war for talent and is focused on attracting and retaining people, our research found that 98% of all employees at companies with this combination of factors are happy with their career progression. So there's a ton of reasons and optimism about how companies can take actions and have clear blueprints of the types of actions that will make a difference. And so today's agenda, in that same vein, is really action-oriented. And I want to thank the many inspiring leaders who've agreed to join us today. I think we've got a great agenda, and the entire focus of today is how do you take inspiration and turn it into action. So thank you again for joining us. I'm really excited to see what we all hear and learn today, and to spend some time with you throughout the day. And I'd now like to bring up a very inspiring leader, Mary Hamilton, who leads our technology labs right here in Silicon Valley. Mary, over to you.